For this next step, we're going to go ahead and take a piece of painter's tape and we're putting it in a diagonal in the opposite direction that those glitter stripes are going. The reason why we're doing this is to protect that area from getting paint on it. Now, if you didn't want to do this with a painter's tape, you can just put paint on the whole thing and distress it on your own and make your own diagonals as you want, but I find this is a lot easier and saves some time in paint when having to distress those lines. The other thing I should mention, this does have 2 layers of epoxy withstanding between those layers, but there are still a few areas of bumps where you can feel the glitter where it's not completely flat. So what I want to do is I want to tape those bumpy spots. What that will do is cover up those spots so that the paint doesn't go on it and it's easier to play it off throughout the design. Once you have that pretty much even, it doesn't have to be perfect, you're going to take it outside and spray paint it. I felt that this glitter setup that I'm working on today goes better with silver than any other color, so I went ahead and chose that and I gave it just a light coat of silver down there. It's just something light to give contrast to that line. And then I go over it with white. We don't want this to be runny or drippy, so give it a few light coats, set it aside, and wait for it to dry all the way before you do your next coat. For that white coat, we do want it to be a solid white coat though. Once that is dry, we're going to go ahead and take it inside and distress it. Make sure that paint is completely dry before you go on to this next step because you do not want to smudge up anything. Remove that painter's tape and you're going to get your exposed lines of glitter where you're then going to take your acetone and a dry baby wipe is what I like to use and go through the edges of those lines and just distress it. This acetone is what you want to remove some of that paint and this will help that line to show a really faint silver outline to this white. It comes out really pretty. Once you get that paint removed with acetone, you're going to take rubbing alcohol and focus on cleaning up that white area. Don't go super rough with that rubbing alcohol and it'll just be perfect to remove any silver that does spill over onto that white area. If you can't get it completely clean or if you remove too much paint, you can go outside and just give it a light coat of white spray paint to kind of refresh that white area, but then you'll just have to clean it off that exposed glitter section. So not that big a deal, just a little extra work. And then we're going to go on to this next one. Same thing. Remove those edges of paint, distress it a little, and then clean it up with rubbing alcohol. This is the final design. I always opt for a single color vinyl that will match the outline color of that white. So it's normally silver, rose gold, or gold. Just depends on what the design calls for. And again, guys, I've done this design in so many different color combos, and they've all worked out great. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this quick little series, and I'll see y'all soon.